All right, so first, again, we're going to look at 49 divided by 4, and we're going to use, this would be the sharing model. So I should put that in here. So to make that happen here, I have to designate some group somewhere. So I'll get my pen out, and I'm just going to split my screen. Let's do an easy grid of 4. So, oops, wrong button. Go away. There we go. You get 10, you get 10, and you get 10, and you get 10. That works out nice. And then you get another, you get another, you get another, you get another, you get one. So we just keep splitting it up equitably until we can't anymore. And I'd like to give this one away, but that wouldn't be fair, wouldn't be equal, right? So I have to stop there. So then here I can see that there are 4 groups of 12 with 1 left over. So that was the easiest one to do for this. So now let's try and do it with the groups in. So we're going to take a different approach on this. So here we're going to use the groups in model. Okay. And remember, other name for the groups in model, measurement model, or the subtractive model. This one had a few different names. And the model asks a question. So here the question would be, how many groups of 4 are in 49? All right, so I'm going to give you a moment to play how you would come about that answer playing with these blocks. And it could be you need more toys than you have at the moment to make this happen. Or you could sketch it on a piece of paper. Take your pick. So one way to do it, again, looking for groups of 4, is I just start grabbing these out and making groups of 4 out of them. So I can make one group of 4. And then I can make another group of 4. Now here, I can't easily make a group of 4, so I would have to trade. And so I could start making more. And pretty much I'm going to have to do that with each of these. So I might as well break them all up. Boom. There we go. So there's 3, 4, and you get the idea, right? Oops. Ooh, that was fun. Careful how I click. Now, a couple more. There is another way to think about it, and a lot of kids, I believe, would come to the same conclusion. Oops. Oh, most, and cheat just a little bit here. Oh, got it. All right, so I can count out that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them. Backing up a step over here. How many groups of 4 are there? Well, I can see a kid arguing that with these green blocks right here, there's 10 groups of 4. right? So I could go over here and label that. Yep. And then they could just start bringing these down and say, okay, well, here's another group of 4. And another group of 4. And then we can pretty clearly see here, there's 12 groups of 4 with 1 left over. You weren't that kid in school. In classes I've taught, I almost always have a student that's going to do something like that to me. And I'd like to argue, but they were today. They're right. That's an excellent observation. And you did something like that there? Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. So there are many ways to think about this. Is that wrong? The answer is no, it's not wrong. This made physically more sense to me because I got to separate out those groups of 4. So this doesn't quite separate them out. They're still there. But it also gets, I mentioned earlier, the array version of looking at this. So all you need is a row or a column that's 4, and then you make everything else fit that pattern. It doesn't matter whether it's vertical or horizontal, but the idea of building an array.
My brain just snaps and sees 10 groups of 4, so it's 40. So then I have to do it 9 before.
Yeah. Yeah. And there are some people that are just good at grouping that way, more so than others based on their past experiences. Okay. So again, I should finish this up. So I have those 10 groups of 4, and then I have down here 2 more groups of 4. And 1 left over. So then in the end, there are 12 groups of 4, 49, with 1 left over, and 1 remaining. And again, there's a couple of ways I were able to think about that. I could show all the individual ones like I have here. And essentially, there's 2 distinct ways to physically model this. We have how many groups of 4 are in 49, and then we have split 49 into 4 groups. How many are in each group? Right. So this was called sharing. Does anybody remember the other name for this one? Partition model. Yeah, this is the sharing model. Sometimes we call it the partition model. All right, so your mission, should you choose to accept it, the next activity is just like this, but with a different set of numbers. So here again, I just do a super simple example. 6 divided by 2 can be viewed in 2 different ways. You could have 2 groups, or you could have groups of 2. Both lead to the same conclusion. The quotient is 3. In this case, I want you to do the problem 42 divided by 3. And for this one right here, I don't mention base 10 blocks, so that's optional. You could do it with or without base 10 blocks in this case, but I do want a story and a picture for both the sharing version or for the measurement groups in version. right? So we have the two different versions. I didn't write a story for that last one, but here I want you to come up with a scenario. Some kind of situation, some people or kids or animals are involved in to demonstrate 42 divided by 3. So I'm going to give you a minute to think about that, write something down, and then I'll come back with some other cool things about division.